Welcome everyone to another episode. Yeah, I messed up the recording this episode, so you could hear the sound for the first couple minutes, then maybe only 1 minute. Then that's it. That's kind of done. So today I'll just be giving you tips and tricks in the game. I haven't seen any other guides on the game, so I guess I'll do one for you. Okay. So here's the first tip. After each day, each week, and each week, you will see a bunch of pages of a magazine showing stat changes to the characters in your world. You don't really have to pay attention to it, but some things may be important. Like for example, a court case. Those are important. You can't decide what happens. It's just by chance on who wins the case. So just hope that the game likes you. And keep an eye out for very popular people, because they could be your competition, or for potential hiring people, people you can hire. Okay, here's another example: random events, like when your boss says a charity event. It's okay to do a charity event, but if you're just starting out the game or you don't have enough money, everything is donated, so your band members won't get any money, but you still have to pay for expenses, and that could get really expensive. So if you're a lot of money, or even if you're starting out, it's not good. So unless you could waste some money, I wouldn't recommend doing charity until you got 50,000 or something. Okay, another thing that could happen is that band members or people want to join your band, and yeah, that's it. You can't. I prefer to get people who are 70 to 60. If you're just starting out, 70 to 60 is just fine. So here we have a contract. So I'll tell you the parts of each contract. The advance is how much money they get upfront, right there and now. Royalties is the percentage of money they get from what you earn. Remember the keyword, from what you earn. The contract is how many weeks the contract will actually you do. So he'll be under employee for 24 weeks, and creative is the time when. Okay, sorry. Creative is when they could use your career. They can control it basically. If you don't care about your noise, music, sorry, or you don't care about your band image, or the costume you wear, or the band name, then yeah, give them creative, and you don't have to give them as much money. But and yeah, that's okay if you're starting out, because you don't have enough money in the first place. So giving them creative would mess up what your band image wants to be. But if once you do it and you want an actual own band, then don't give creative, just give enough money, since you'll be somewhat successful and you could get people in really easily. If you just so if I gave this guy creative, I wouldn't be able to change anything, at all whatsoever. He would decide, and you can't. He would decide what he wants to do, and he gets freedom. But if you don't give them creative, then they have no freedom. Yeah, that sounds weird when I say that. Okay, so since my band name's the Tuxedo Tribe, I would have to give them a tuxedo, otherwise it wouldn't really match. So that's why I'm gonna do that now. Yeah, the sound stopped. Man, at the beginning, it's really hard to get past, because if you divide your points equally, we can get every single stats to 66. I would make it so that you could make your production and your production and writing very high at the beginning, because you can make good songs. You can't play them well live, but if you make good songs and release them as singles, then you can make a lot of money, and then you can invest some training into your other stuff if the time comes, because you can't actually do that. It's just random event. So yeah, this is the charity event that's gonna play on now. You don't have to read that stuff. That's just the show. You could read it if you have time, and you could actually listen to the music if you have time. But if you don't, just skip through it and push push that button whenever that's done. So another tip is that it doesn't really matter what instrument you choose, or practically anything, because it doesn't really matter. So once you are successful making songs and releasing music albums and stuff, well, actually, you probably won't release an album right away. I recommend you finish your album with at least 8 songs, because if you do less songs, there's really no point having an album. because it's an album. It needs at least 8 songs. I usually finish albums to 10, unless that. So you're gonna want to try to get into a music label because that's when you make a lot of money. So try to get like you will always want creative. Otherwise, your boss would control you, whatever you do, and so that's no fun. So you would sorry. So you would try to get creative, but you might work for less money, but at least you have control over your career. If you don't really care about creative and you need money, then don't do creative, and just do a lot of royalties and maybe a lot of advance money, and like you can make it a shorter contract, so then you could get out of there fast, make some money, and then be creative. Like get creative after next time, and you get like a lot of money. So like you don't have to pay attention to this, but like you might find someone that has high stats, and if their contract is almost done, that might be a good time to get them. Like poach them, like try to offer them a deal, and since their contract is almost over, then yeah. Oh, when you start out, you be in the underground. There's like it's not even a label really, but you can't. It's almost impossible to hire people outside because then they won't even they wouldn't want to come back down to underground, which is like almost nothing if they already are up top. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting people outside the underground. So just I actually wouldn't recommend hiring anyone yet because unless you find a star and like goes to the underground, try to hire them. Yeah. So you can name the songs and stuff. You could also take songs from your MP3 player and put it in here. Although you do risk the chance of getting a copyright strike. Like, not in real life, but like, just in the game. You could actually get that. I know, it's weird. So, yeah, the court case is coming up soon. And, yeah, that could be important. Like, the charts, that's like the top 10 songs, whatever. See, at the end of each, like, concert, or like, at the end of each chart report, you get to see how much each person gets paid, and if you don't like how much each person is getting paid, you could always decrease your royalties and increase the advance money earlier. Yeah, sometimes your band members get mad and try to get like demand money unless they're really good. Actually, yeah, you almost always want to give them money unless you're broke. Then don't do it. They will go away for a while, but they will eventually come back. So this person is not cooperating. I gave them like $500,000. What they don't... Oh, okay. Well, apparently she doesn't like William. So... Yep, we're gone now. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so yeah, band members will randomly make music, and you will make music too. And how good the music is depending on the specific band member's stats. So see, in this court case, you could read it if you want. Like, I like to read it, but if you've been through the game a lot, then it's not important. Obviously, you just want to get the result. But I like reading it. Yeah. So the court case result is usually always random, almost always. Actually, you know what? It probably is always random. See, I lost the case right here, and I lost some money. So normally court cases, if you're rich, like got $1,000,000, or at least $500,000, then you should be okay. Or your money will go down a lot, but you should still be okay after. But if you're no, try to avoid it at all costs. Like, you can get a court case. It's like the game is trying to make you get a court case at least once a year, which I guess makes sense to make it interesting, but it gets annoying after a while. Sometimes your boss will want to release a single from one of your songs. If you memorize the stats of your songs, then you know which ones you should actually release a single and which one you shouldn't. But if you don't memorize them, then and you do have creative control, just say no. You would always release it right after. Oh yeah, and sometimes band members will get greedy and demand money or like demand different title changes or stuff. When they demand money, creative control does not stop that. But like something like changing the song name or like the costumes, they can do that without creative control. But that stops it with creative control. If you guys want to see more of a more detailed guide, like more organized, because I just did it based off the gameplay I had, then just like the video and tell me. So, see you later.